Hi, good morning, co-banker George. I am so glad to see you Monday morning. So it's a nice weather. I usually don't talk about politics, but the Saturday attempted assassination of Donald Trump's really kind of wrestles me, and I don't know what happened to this country. Uh, I hate to see this happening, the guns and assassinations attempt. This is not good for the country. So, but anyway, I was very shocked, and this guy, Donald Trump, is really lucky. He could be dead by now, and this is very lucky. Somebody upstairs must see something in him. I'll let him live for a little longer. Uh, but this guy has been, suffer a lot. He has gone through two impeachment and been convicted, and and a lot of financial problems. Yeah, he has such a courage, and for that I really tip my hat to him. But anyway, I'm not here to endorse him or anyway. Uh, but I just have a little comment on the situation with political atmosphere right now. Anyway, thank you for coming to the meeting, and I would like to start with the affiliates first, and the end show from the top escrow will give us affiliate highlight today. So I will let her um, uh, be the last one to talk. So let's begin with Nicole Manat first from Fidelity National.
Good
Nicole, good
morning.
morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you so much for inviting us to join you every other week. We really appreciate it. And um, just want to say that what we've seen, the resilience, most of us would have probably shriveled up, right? With all of, unfortunately, Trump has been facing over the years. So we need to learn from this resilience. And as we know, the market is a little interesting right now. So it is your time to shine. Don't let this new legislation, that's coming to pass, don't let it pull you down, because there is still so much opportunity out there. Clients need you. Okay, you need to prove your purpose and show them how valuable you are. And the way that you can do that is by reaching out to them, giving them information. And one way, and I'm getting a lot of calls lately regarding fraud. How can clients protect themselves? One way that you guys can reach out to them is to let property owners know that there's a way for them to register their properties with the county and be alerted when anything's recorded on their property. So I just wanted to remind you, give information that's going to show your value, and we're here to help you. Give us a call if you have any questions. All of your affiliates are here to support you, and we thank you for your support. Wishing you a successful day. Nicole and Yvonne, Fidelity National Title, and I did drop my information in the chat. So if you need info on the e-notification alert for LA County, let me know. Thank you.
Thank you, Nicole, for always being so supportive. Note that you have given us a lot of good information every week about the market and the updates. So appreciate that very much. All right, Keaton, how are you doing today? Nice to see you.
It's good to see you too, Peter. It's good to see everyone else. I'll try and keep it short today. As an insurance broker, I've been the bearer of bad news recently. It's not easy telling everyone that their premiums are going to be increasing a lot. But I want to note that I do it correctly. I'm not going to cut corners, and I'm going to make sure that you're protected, because I don't want to end up in court. And right now, a lot of brokers are having the same struggle as me, as finding it hard to communicate why these rates are going up, and being that bearer of bad news, and especially for the property insurance, it's a struggle right now. But just hang in there. everything's a bit chaotic right now, and eventually things will even out. At least that's the hope. So just I appreciate everyone's time, and yeah, it's hectic right now.
Hey, Keaton, there's a lot of property owners are resorting to the out of state, not admitted the insurance carriers. Can you comment a little bit on that?
Absolutely. In the San Marino Tribute, actually, in the newspaper, they just released an article recently. One of the marketing subdivisions of the insurance commissioner came out and did a speech to the city council of San Marino. And the reason for everyone going to non-admitted markets right now is because the top 85%, the top 85% market share for property insurance in California consist of 12 carriers. There's 100 carriers that will write property insurance, but the top 12 carriers make up 85% of the market share. And 7 of those top 12 have stopped writing business altogether, leaving there's now, what is that? 5 carriers left now that might not even consider it. They'll look at it, but doesn't mean they'll write it. That drives up the price, and then that leaves all the other 25% of the carriers for the rest of the market share, and they're all non-admitted. They're all more expensive, and the coverage is a lot more slim. So that's part of the reason.
I see. Okay. Thank you very much. I hope the crisis will end soon and we can get back to normal business. But
Time will tell.
No?
No, I said only time will tell.
Oh, only time. Okay. Let's hope so. All right. Thank you. Unita, how are you?
Good, thank you. I'm so sorry earlier. I thought I missed it. So
I know. It's too early.
yeah, I come a little bit late, so I just want to make sure. I just want to say hello, everybody. Unita Wu with Home Warranty of America, the 13 months home warranty. Just want to say hello and thank you so much for your continued business. If you guys do need home warranty, please let me know. I am here to help you. I do speak English, Chinese, Mandarin, and Indonesian. Reach out to me with the brochure or things like question that I could be able to help you guys directly. Thank you.
Hi. Thank you. Thank you, Unita.
Thank you.
Good morning, Nancy. How are you? I'm sorry that I didn't start you right away and you're the earliest one. As a matter of fact, you are almost like 25 minutes early. But anyway, time for you to talk.
Good morning, CB George Realty and everybody. Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Michelle. Yes, I was early because I was getting ready to finish my stuff online. But happy Monday. I talked to a couple agents this weekend, and they're telling me their success stories. A lot of it's from just picking up the phone, not being afraid to hear a no, and call people. There's a couple agent that is calling at least 10 people a day minimum to just get reacquainted with people, or calling their neighbors, calling everything. I think a lot of email is great, sending out stuff is great, but when you call people and then you visit them, it makes a difference. And one little young man said to me, he said, the guy even asked him to come in and have a glass of water because it was so hot. So I think people appreciate hard work no matter what you do. Be there for them, talk to them, be their neighbors. If you live in a good neighborhood and you're not talking to your neighbors, why are you a realtor? Sorry to be tough on you guys, but it is face-to-face, eye-to-eye, toe-to-toe. And we do have a lot of farming apps and platforms that you can use, and you can draw out your neighborhood on a dynamic farm, and you can know everybody on your street or surrounding neighborhood as you please. So you should be talking to people. So out of the 3 people I talked to, 2 already set appointments just to see. They might not sell, but at least you get your foot in the door. They're already asking him about the market, about the interest rate. Of course, they're talking about the shooting, but it is a way to get involved with your neighbors. So be there for them. Help them with what they need, because you don't know until you talk to them. Thank you so much, Peter, Michelle. Looking forward to see everybody in face-to-face.
Thank you, Nancy. You're still helping agents on a one-to-one
coaching. Yeah, I talked to someone this weekend, and so I'm sitting down with her.
Good.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much. John, how are you?
Good, Peter. Thank you. John Wax with Snap NHD. How's everybody doing? Monday morning. Heat is on. Market is hot. I'm with Nancy. Have more conversations with them. Tell them, hey, don't worry about the interest rate. We can get you into this house. Build your equity. Make sure that you get into your house. Don't pay your landlord that money that you can be building equity on. And you can always change the interest rates when they drop. And we might see a little bit of drop in the fourth quarter based on what I've heard from different lenders and other economists. What I want to talk to you about is basically, remember, NHD reports are required on all sale of real property in California. Residential, commercial, industrial, vacant land. I get calls all the time. Is it required for vacant land? Yes, it is required for vacant land. Co-ops, there's some in the San Fernando Valley. Any sale of real property. If there's a business on it and they're selling the property, it's required, not for business opportunities. And remember, yes, you have the new lease agreements, but you need the NHD report as well. And it's a flood zone only. It protects all parties, and the landlord must tell the tenant if the property is affected by flood zone. We have that for free for you guys. The other thing I wanted to touch on is we do include the FHDS card form, so you don't have to search anywhere. If it's in there, you deal with the form. You contact me, and we'll go through it together with you and your clients. Lastly, there are super fun sites that are in the environmental report. You have to have the NHD intact, but I recommend that you get the environmental report as well, because there's one at Main Street and Garfield, I believe it's a school, but these are hazardous sites that can affect the health of your pets as well as humans and things like that. And there are a lot of groundwater cleanup sites and things like that. So be aware of those things. I can help you out with that as well. My biggest tip, order at time of listing or take it with you on your listing appointment, because you want to show how different you are than all the other people and that you know all about their property. So you can ask the proper question or answer their questions if they have any. And my biggest tip to you is don't be a secret agent. Always wear your badge, have cards, pens, appropriate documents with you, because you never know where that next deal is coming from. Thank you for allowing me to be here, and thank you for your business.
Thank you, John. Thank you very much. Sandy, what's up with home warranty? Anything?
It's exciting? A little warm out there, so starting with all the air conditioning calls at 6 o'clock this morning, and I will until sun goes down tonight. But early morning and late afternoon are great times to go out and do your farm. Mm-hmm. I have door hangers. I have the clear baggies with the little insert that says how to get your house ready for market. First American has all the tools that you need to help you go out and do your farm. They won't list their house with you if they don't know who you are, right? I mean, that's basic. So if you need door hangers, if you need the baggies, let me know. I can bring them to the office because I'm going to be there, I want to say Thursday morning, dropping some off. I can bring more. If you want me to send them to your house, I'll do that as well. Whatever easier for you. Our success as affiliates depends on your success. Let us help you be successful. That's all of us want, and I don't know, the collective experience of your affiliates is hundreds of years. Tap into it. We all know something different. We're all experts in what we do, and we all want to help you. I mean, there's no simpler way to say it. I'll drop my info into chat. Stay cool. Oh, and a side note, change your filters in your air conditioner, people. It is not that hard. They are $5. They're at Home Depot, which is also air conditioned. And change your filters. If you do that, your air conditioner will not die in the middle of July, and you will not be calling me at 6 in the morning because you changed your filters. That is your home tip for the day, people. Have a great week and stay cool.
Thank you, Sandy. Thank you very much. Okay, now before we go to end show, let's go to Nanette Ong, and Nanette is running for directorship in Western Gabriel Board, and we all know that Nanette is a very hardworking girl, and very conscientious and very articulate, and we should all support her. Nanette, go ahead.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much, Peter. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Nanette Ong. I am an agent here at Coldwell Banker, and also a member at Western Gabriel Valley Association. And as Peter mentioned, I am running for a directorship at Western Gabriel Valley Association of Realtors. I've been very active there. I have joined in many committees, and I have also been a treasurer there last year. And I am a director currently. I am running for re-election, and I would like to continue my directorship there. And I hope for all of your support for my re-election in the upcoming 2-year term. It's 2025 to 2026. So the ballots opened just from this past Thursday, and it closes this Thursday. So it's a 1-week ballot election where you can cast your vote if you are a member of Western Gabriel Valley Association of Realtors. There is also a recording. We had a candidate forum this past Thursday at the Western Gabriel headquarters. And there is a recording that was emailed to everyone, and you're welcome to watch that if you're interested in watching all the candidates' speeches, and also my speech is included as well. So thank you so much, and I hope to continue to serve all of you. I am also member driven. I advocate for all your benefits and your rights in WSGVR and in the community. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Nanette. I'm sure you'll be elected. There's no doubt in my mind. Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you for your support.
All right.
And confidence.
Sure. All right, now we come to Ann Cho from Top Escrow. She's going to talk to us about some tips on the 1031 exchange. So Ann, go ahead.
Okay, hi everyone. So I'm gonna explain essentially how the escrow company and the 1031 company work together. So typically in a 1031 exchange, the roles of the escrow company and 1031 company, which is a qualified intermediary, or they call it a QI, are distinct, yet they're interconnected, working together to ensure a smooth execution of the transaction. So typically the initial steps with a 1031 is the client would engage with the qualified intermediary, which is the 1031, right? And of course, it's typically an investor. It can't be a principal residence, okay? So the investor first finds a 1031 company to facilitate the transaction. Then what typically happens is they may have a property they want to get out of that they own. So they're going to relinquish that property. So what happens is they will sell the property in escrow, and we will work with the 1031 company to get the documentation on behalf of the seller, okay? So bottom line is the seller cannot touch the money. It cannot go into their bank account, or they cannot do a 1031. So typically on a regular sale, it usually goes to the seller, but in a 1031 where your seller is relinquishing their property, the funds would go directly to the 1031 company, okay? So we usually get like 1031 documents that the seller and the buyer have to sign. So we coordinate that all with the 1031 company and the clients to make sure we get that all facilitated. If the buyer is buying a property because they chose it for their 1031, then essentially when they get into escrow with the contract, the initial deposit typically does come from the 1031 company. But there are some situations where the buyer can put in their own money as well, okay? But the same situation with the buyer side, with escrow, we work with the 1031 company to get the documentation, have the buyer and seller sign, okay? And make sure we collect all the funds from the 1031 company to purchase, okay? Typically, the escrow company coordinates with the intermediary to ensure everything's good on all the guidelines that the 1031 company has to follow. Because it's dealing with the IRS, and the reason why the client is wanting to do a 1031 is because they kind of want to defer their tax or capital gains, okay? So it's very important that your client picks a good 1031 company, and also make sure your escrow officer is well-trained or well-versed in dealing with 1031 company. I kind of wanted to talk about the 1031 because I'm not sure if you guys know, but Top Escrow, we actually have a 1031 company as well to make it very convenient for the clients. Our fee is not that much. And like I said, it's way simpler when you have like an escrow company and a 1031 company. It's quick, easy. We have all the information already. So if you guys are interested in getting quotes or talking about some scenarios, you guys can contact me about that. But besides that, like I said, there are some qualifications for 1031. I'm pretty sure you guys all know that they have 45 days to identify a property. And remember, once they identify the property, they then have to close within 180 days. If that doesn't happen, then they cannot protect their money from all the tax ramifications. Also, what else do we do? Okay, also the transfer of title. Once the replacement property purchase is closed, the escrow company transfers the title to the investor completing the 1031. So the key roles for an escrow company, we manage the financial transactions, set up and oversee the escrow accounts, handle the closing, and ensure the proper transfer of funds. And the 1031 company facilitates the exchange process, ensures compliance with the IRS rules, which is very important, holds and manages the sale proceeds, and coordinates with the escrow company to complete the exchange. But besides that, that's all I have. Very quick and simple. Just know that whenever there's a 1031 company involved, the best thing to do is contact the escrow company and give them that information so we can contact them right away.
Yeah, and I'm glad that your company is doing 1031 exchange as well, because most of the escrow company, they don't do 1031 exchange. And also now, even if you're doing 1031 exchange, there will be a separate escrow.
Correct.
From the regular escrow. So you'll be completely separate because you want to make the money and all the the procedure separate so that it won't have any conflict of interest, right?
Correct. So the name of our 1031 company is called Top 1031 Exchange. And we actually have one lady, her name's Tracy, that will handle all of the 1031. So it's separate from our escrow company, like you said.
Okay, very good. And also you mentioned that you can do a 1031 exchange for your primary residence.
No, you cannot. You cannot. Yeah, this is all investment. Yeah. Yeah.
But for primary residence, you don't need to do 1031 exchange because you have exemption to every 2 years,
Correct.
250,000 per person. So you have husband and wife, it will be $500,000 of capital gain, the exemption.
Correct.
Every 2 years. So that'd be good thing to take advantage of.
Right.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. That was very good, short and sweet, and so appreciate it very much. Thank you, Ann. Okay. Now, do we have any more affiliate that came in late? I would like to speak. If not, then I will go to some of our company business first. There's some announcement I would like to make. The first one is that we have a very informative risk management seminar on the 17th by our corporate lawyer, Brian Smith. And this is the second part of his seminar. He does it every year. And this second part concerns with the fiduciary duty, fraud, and misrepresentation. So it will be a very informative seminar that you should attend. So this is Wednesday, 17 at 10 o'clock. Okay, I hope you can all make it. And also, he loves to come in person to talk to everybody. So he'll be in person in the training room. So I recommend that if you like to talk to him, come to our training room in person. It will be a much more interactive session for you and for him. And the second announcement is that this Friday training, we have the part 3 of the forum. It will be conducted by Michelle, and we have a very successful part 1 and part 2. So this part 3 will be the last session on the forums. It will be also very informative and we have a very good turnout for the first and the second session. So I hope that you can all attend the third session for the training of the forms that the CAR released in June of 2024. Okay. And the last but not the least, the announcement is that on July 25th, our chairman, James Chow, would like to invite all the agents to his grand opening and his Holiday Inn Suite, sorry. Holiday Inn Suite in Monterey Park of grand opening, okay? It will be a very celebrating event. He's very proud of his achievement and with the hotel. Is a very nice hotel. I've been there a couple times already, and this is the grand opening and it will be it'll be be with all the celebration with the outside people, and all the agents are invited. There'll be a lot of food. It will be good company, and a lot of things that you can do, and also networking. Most important thing, networking with other real estate agents and brokers. Okay, so I hope you can all make it. It will be on the 25th. That's the next Thursday at 10:30. Okay, that would be the cutting ceremony will be at 10:30. So I hope all of you can make it. Okay, if there's any questions, you can come and ask me or go directly to James Chow. Okay. All right. With that, I do not know whether Doug is here in the audience. Is Doug? You around? I guess not. No, he has.
Peter, may I? Tomorrow we have the balcony inspection company coming in on Zoom.
Yeah, you want to comment on this?
Yeah, we're very fortunate. We have a company that's been inspecting balconies in anticipation of this law for the last 2 to 3 years already. And they're coming in to explain it. It's taking effect. They have to be completed, the inspections, by January 1st, 2025, 10 a.m. tomorrow. I would highly recommend, if you have any questions on that, to attend the meeting.
Yeah, that's good. That's very informative. Okay. All right. I think that Doug is having some car problems, so I don't think he can make it to this meeting. So I will go to directly to the business for our Hamburg office. We do have some listing and the sales, not very much. We only have about 3 new listings, all leases, and 4 the sales, and all leases too. Well, it's the leasing week, I guess. Okay, let me do the listing first. The first listing is by Karina Pang. It's a commercial lease. I think it's a commercial lease. It's $1,500 per month for the Pasadena office in Linda Vista Avenue. And the second leasing is for the Arcadia commercial property for $4,000 per month by Hugo Chow. The third listing is also a lease, is by Nina Shi $5,898 per month in Alhambra. So they are all leases. As for sales, actually not sales too, it's also lease sales, I would say. The first one is Carina Pang, it's 18,800 for Pasadena commercial in Linda Vista. Hugo Chow is 48,000 in Arcadia. And also Maria Lilena also has a lease of 27,600 in Alhambra. The last but not the least is Nina Shi has a lease of 353,850. That is a big lease, commercial lease by Nina Shi. Congratulations, Nina. Good job. Okay, that's all the business for this week. It's a little bit of skimpy, but hopefully it'll be a little bit better next week. Okay, let's be optimistic and get some more business into our company. All right. Any questions? John,
no, I'm just saying.
Comment? What?
I'm saying be safe, drink lots of water when you're door knocking and meeting people in person, because that's the way to get the business. Go out there and meet people and have a lot of conversations.
All right. Thank you for the comment.
And I'm here for you.
Any more comments from the agents or anybody? Any reduction in prices or new the listing that has not been posted? Okay, now if not, then I would like to share something with you today. I hope so. Hope this topic is a little bit interesting. Michelle, can you allow me to screen share, please? No, I still cannot do it.
Done. Yeah, you should be the co-host now.
Okay. Yeah, I can do it now. All right. This today's talk is regarding procuring costs in real estate. Now you know that well, it's not easy to be a buyer's agent nowadays because you're competing with a lot of buyers in any real estate deals, even in residential or commercial. Especially in residential, when you have a listing, there are many buyers that were competing for the same property. One time I was told that they have 69 the buyers are bidding for one property, and that's why they really maintain the high price of the real estate. A lot of houses are so above their listing price, and some are very much above the listing price. I had, remember the $3 million house in San Marino? It listed with 22 million, and then they bid up all the way to 30 million, and it was sold for 30 million. So it's like $8 million over the listing price. So it's very difficult being a buyer's agent nowadays, and also you're not guaranteed to receive commissions anymore because you don't have the automatic procuring the contract in the MLS. And before MLS, you offer some commissions, and then you're surely to get the commission. Now you have to be careful, and you have to ask the seller for commission, and you have to ask the buyer for commission, and you have to handle it carefully. Otherwise, you won't get the commissions that you like. So the procuring cost gets more complicated after the any out settlement. So I'm going to go over some of the ins and outs of the procuring costs, and so that you can handle it more carefully, and so that you can be more assured of the commissions that you deserve. It's going to be getting more complicated instead of getting easier. So let's do that. No, you know, before the NAR settlement, it's very easy. You have a listing, you list in the MLS, and the MLS has a provision for the cooperating the brokers commission, and it's automatic. You know, once they put it in, it's a kind of an offer or contract to the buyer's agent, and saying that if you procure a buyer for me, meaning that you can bring the buyer to me and consummate the deal, you will get the commission. So that's very easy, very clear cut. But now, because of the NAR, the settlement, you no longer have this kind of assurance. You cannot put any things that pertaining to the commission in the MLS listing anymore. So there's no offer in the MLS for you to accept and to be automatically get the procuring the commissions as a buyer's agent. So this is gone. So after the NAR settlement, it gets more complicated. So it is not the procuring cost is not a single event. It is a series of events that will constitute what we call the procuring costs, quote unquote. And as a matter of fact, the NAR policy specifically prohibits local association from adopting a rule that predetermines outcomes in a commission dispute. Meaning that they cannot say that, well, once you do this, you get you get the commission automatically. It's not that easy anymore. As a matter of fact, the NAR defines the procuring cost as the uninterrupted series. Remember that the keyword is a series of causal events which results in a successful transaction. So it's not the single event that determines that who has the procuring cost. It is all the totality of the circumstances that constitute whether you get the credit for procuring costs or not. Okay, and the burden of proof is on the person who or on the complainant or person who filed for arbitration or filed for mediation or filed for lawsuits. So in other words, the plaintiff has the burden of proof. Now, the burden of proof, luckily, is the preponderance of evidence. Okay, meaning that if the evidence is 51% more favorable to your claim, then you win. It's not like the criminal burden of proof, which is the beyond the reasonable doubt, which is usually more than 67%. Of the evidence that point to your favor. So it's for the preponderance of evidence that you can prevail in the burden of proof. Now the factors includes four areas. The first area is the connection to the transaction, meaning that how you approach the transaction and what about the property, you know, how you handle the property. And the second factor is the buyer's choice, you know, so the buyer's intent, the buyer's state of mind, whether they want to, whether they really is intending to engage you as the agent representing them. And the third area is the broker contact, which means that how the broker handled the transaction. And the relationship with the broker with the buyer and the seller. And then they have other contributing factors too that is important for the situation. Okay, let's talk about how's it the first one first, the connection to the transaction. So there's some scenarios that can be favorable to the intro broker or favorable to the closing broker. So if the buyer is the first introduced to the property by the intro broker, that favors the intro broker. And if the closing broker never showed the property, it also favors the intro broker. But if the intro broker, all right, and present an offer the property on behalf of the buyer, but the transaction was not consummated for some reason, it kind of favors the intro broker. And also if the closing broker wrote presented an offer on the property on behalf of the buyer, but was that was substantially similar to the offer written by the intro broker. In other words, you know, all the terms and conditions and things are done by the closing broker is similar to the intro broker, but the intro broker has the first crack on the case. Then it favors the intro broker. And then if but if there's a significant amount of time has elapsed between the time into that the intro broker last showed the property, but the closing broker came in and wrote an offer and then they consummate the deal, then they will favor the closing broker. And also if the intro broker has provided a lot of very significant information about the specific property and its neighborhood and everything, the value of the property and financing over a period of time, that favors the intro broker. And if the closing broker wrote and negotiate the offer and perform all the services during the escrow for most of the transaction, then of course that will favor the closing broker. Now the second factor is the buyer's choice, is the mental state of the buyer, whether the buyer really intend to have which broker to represent them. But you know, say if they first engage the intro broker, but the intro broker does not keep in touch with the broker for a long period of time, and then later on they find the closing broker and then consummate the deal, then of course that will favor the closing broker. Now, and the second situation is that if the intro broker is the listing broker, but then after they find out there's a little bit of conflict of interest between the listing broker and the buyer's broker, and then they find out that it's better to separate the representation. Then and then the buyer get another broker to represent them. Then that will favor the closing broker. And for another scenario is that the buyer is very dissatisfied with the intro broker because they find out that the intro broker has not enough knowledge, and they don't care about the property or the services that they provide to the buyer, and then they are fed up with the buyer's broker. They want to change to another broker to represent them, and of course that that factor will favor the closing broker. And then when it comes to the broker's conduct, now if the closing brokers already asked the buyer's relationship with another broker early in the process and determined that there was no existing contract or existing relationship between the intro broker and the buyer, and then the closing broker finally consummated the deal. Now that situation, of course, will favor the closing broker. And but if the closing broker didn't care to ask about the buyer's relationship with another broker until very late in the process, that will favor the intro broker. And then another scenario is the closing broker instructed the buyer to go to the open house to make appointments for the buyer, and then they'll tell all the other people that they are represented by the broker, and of course that will favor the closing broker. And another scenario is that intro broker was aware that the buyer would be going to the open house and told the buyer to inform all the other brokers that the buyer relationship with the intro broker, that everybody knows about their relationship, then that will favor the intro broker. And another scenario is that sometimes the closing broker say, oh, well, just go to the open house and and study and shop for other brokers, and then once it is ready to make an offer, come back to me, and I will write the offer. Now that's a no-no. So if that's the case, then it will favor the intro broker. Okay. And then another scenario is that the closing broker does not belong to the MLS and has not has not make an independent arrangement with the listing broker for a commission, then that will favor the intro broker. And well, if the closing broker is a listing agent, that doesn't favor either side. So. If the scenario is that the closing broker is the listing broker and offer financial incentive to the buyer, if the buyer come back and deal directly with him so that he can have a dual agency. This happens a lot of time, because they said, well, I can represent the buyer and the seller, and there's no law against that. And so they can say, well, if they offer to the prospective buyer and say that, okay, you come to get back to me, I'll represent you, and then I'll give you some financial incentive of a reduction in price and something like that. Then in order to get such a deal to consummate. This is not kosher. If that's the case, then it will favor the intro broker. Okay, the one who first contacted the buyer. So other factors includes that if the intro broker has the representation, the BCBL, and the written form that signed. Either exclusive or non-exclusive, those are more favorable to the intro broker if they have the BRBC. And also similarly for the closing broker, if they have the BRBC and the either exclusive representation or non-exclusive representation, they both favor the closing broker. So the key point is that you should have a BRBC well written and signed, and then you'll be safe most of the time. Okay, so that will favor you, whoever signs that BRBC. And lastly, if the intro broker failed to give an agency a disclosure statement. So that's important too, that this should be taken care of very early in the game. They should give all the parties an agency disclosure statement, no matter whether you are intro broker or the closing broker. Okay. So the tips. Lastly, let's talk about the tips. To prevent it from an unintended mistake or that make sure that you get the procuring cost, is that you always ask the prospective buyer whether he or she is working with another broker. Now, if they said that they did sign an agreement with another broker, then you say that, well, whether that is still in fact or not, is this the exclusive or non-exclusive contract. And also if you find out that they have another broker and then they're still wanting you to represent them, then you find out why why the buyer leaves the other broker, and if they for some reason you want to remedy the situation, maybe you can talk to the other broker and say, hey, your buyer wants me to represent him too, so maybe we can work out the deal together. And then, I can give you referral fees, and then, let's split some of the commission. So in other words, work out an amicable solution before you take the deal from that buyer. So that will create that will avoid a lot of misunderstanding later on. And I'm sure that it will that if you have an amicable resolution of this situation, you avoid later litigations. So I think that's very important that you should give the other broker some kind of chance to remedy the situation. And lastly, give the agency disclosure early in the transaction. That's very important. That will establish the relationship that you have with the buyer. And also, I cannot overemphasize or underestimate the BRBC. This is a very important document, and they have a lot of training on the BRBC. And this is the one single most important document that each agent should, or the agent who represents the buyer should have with the buyer. This will have a clearly establish the relationship between the agent and the buyer, and that will kind of cement the relationship or the contractual relationship with the buyer. So this is the single most important thing to do. And also, never send your buyer client to other brokers with the instruction to come back when the buyer is ready to write the offer. That is a no-no. That's unethical, to be very honest. You don't want to do the work, and yet you want to reap the debt benefit. How can you do that? So never do that. When you go to court, that you cannot stand on the ground. Okay. And also for open houses, try to accompany your clients to the open house. But if you cannot give your agents the cards and instruct them to tell the agents and the whole open house that they're ready and working for you for that deal. So, but of course, to go accompany them to the open house will be the best solution. Okay, and also stay close contact with the client and be responsible during the transaction. That is very important too, because like you're working with your client, the relationship with the client is the most important. You should have a constant contact, close contact with them. And if you're conducting an open house, keep a registry of all prospective buyer, including a note of whether there is a broker with the buyer or not. And if you're a listing agent and you cannot be you cannot be in the open house, also leave a sign-in sheet with the buyer's name and broker's name similar to the one in the new home development. Okay, including the dates and time of the registry. And at this, when you have the registry, you can use it as evidence when you have a lawsuit or arbitration for the procuring cost. Okay, so these are those the tips, and hopefully that will avoid the uncertainties and try to avoid the lawsuits or unnecessary disputes. Okay, so with that, I'll stop here. If there's any questions. I know there's a lot of information to absorb, but you just have to tackle it methodically. All right. Any questions? Oh, is this too boring? But I finished the meeting right on time, though. That's one good thing.
Thank you, Peter.
Any questions?
Yeah, Peter.
Yeah.
I'm dealing with one case that the buyer said he will pay the commission. So I disclosed that to the seller, and I tracked the BRBC and specifies very clearly buyer is going to pay the commission. So is that the only document I need to submit to both seller and buyer?
Is that necessary to submit it to what? Both buyer?
Yeah, the buyer will pay the commission,
right,
on the transaction.
Yes.
So I disclose it.
You have to disclose it to all parties. It has to be transparent.
Yeah, then I'm safe, right?
Yeah, you have to disclose to all parties.
Yeah, okay, that's what I did. Okay, thank
Yeah.
you.
Okay, sure. Any more questions? Well, if not, I hope you have a nice week, and it's a beautiful day out there, so do some business. Okay. All
Have a
right.
great
See you
week,
next week, guys.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Peter.
Bye. Thank you, Peter.
Bye,
Okay,
bye-bye.
bye-bye.
Bye,
Bye,
thank
thank
you.
you. Thank
Bye,
you.
bye-bye.
Thank you.